Coming up on this special edition of SUTV News, a look at diversity on campus.
And an exclusive with CNN anchor Soledad O'Brien. She'll be in Shippensburg today to talk about her work on diversity on a larger scale. SUTV News starts right now. Everyone, I'm Kyle Rogers.
And I'm Laura Shale. Thanks for joining us for this special edition of SUTV News. You would think that in the year 2011, difference would be status quo.
But our society struggles with diversity and differences in culture and race. Tonight, Shippensburg turns the spotlight on the issue with the help of a self-proclaimed expert, Soledad O'Brien. We caught up with her before she made the big trip.
No city exemplifies diversity like New York City, the city that is home to millions of people of different backgrounds, cultures, and races. At CNN, anchor Soledad O'Brien celebrates diversity.
Coming to Shippensburg to talk about diversity in the media, behind the scenes, and in our lives. And I'd say you have quite the diverse name. Maria de la Soledad Teresa O'Brien.
That's right. They actually left a Marchetti out of it, which is my mother's maiden name, and as you know, Latinos take the mother's maiden name. So it's Maria de la Soledad Teresa Marchetti O'Brien.
She comes from a first-generation American family. Her father, Edward, a white Australian.
The census, I just confuse everybody and check everything.
And her mother, Estella, who is Afro-Cuban.
I knew pretty early on, as a fourth grader with a giant afro from Long Island. We didn't quite blend in. We have a great picture of my family in front of our VW bus, and all of us with giant afros because that's the time of the decade that it was. Exactly, way back in the day. We're all wearing stripes this way and then pants with stripes that way. But I think, for me, when I was probably 11 or 12, I had a pretty good idea that, our family was considered different than a lot of families, which was sort of weird because I thought of myself as so typical and, typical 11-year-old.
Soledad's background has helped in covering diversity in this country. Her documentary series, Black in America, was her first assignment.
Every day. Really? Yeah, absolutely.
And actually, in a lot of ways, I think that I have become a good person to talk about diversity because it's really what I cover work-wise, and then I come from a very, personally diverse background as well. So a lot of the times I like to talk about my personal experiences and kind of where they've intersected with my work experience.
Why do you hate me because I'm black?
The opportunity to work on Black in America was not Soledad's idea.
Today. It's so interesting. It had nothing to do with me. My boss, the president of CNN at the time, took me out to lunch and said, well, we're thinking about doing a documentary because it's the 40th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. King. And we want to do a 6-hour documentary. Would you want to be involved in some way? And I said, absolutely. And from that point on, we sort of started doing this thing called Black in America, which would be 3 2-hour segments. One would be 2 hours on the assassination of Dr. King, and then we broke it into the black man and the black woman, and it just ended up being incredibly, wildly successful, but I had no idea at the time. And part of the success was that, Barack Obama decided to run for the presidency, and when that happened, it was just excellent timing for a documentary that was really examining what was happening in Black America.
Coming up, hear how Soledad struggles with her status as a high-profile diversity expert.
And still ahead on SUTV News, Shippensburg students celebrate diversity all through the semester.
And we'll have more with Soledad O'Brien. Don't go away.
Welcome back. Students at Shippensburg University come from a variety of cultures and backgrounds, but sometimes it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. But SHIP's Multicultural Student Affairs organization makes diversity the center of attention. The Multicultural Student Affairs Office has a history of promoting diversity on campus. Comfort Dixon, a junior majoring in political science, serves as the MSA Senator on Student Senate. She's been involved with MSA since she was a freshman.
The first program I got involved in, or organization I should say, is DIVAS, which is the Women Empowerment Program.
Since then, she's dedicated herself to raising awareness about cultural differences through MSA, serving as a voice for social justice. Along the way, she's learning important life skills.
The Multicultural Student Affairs as a whole has made a humongous impact. They push me for academic excellence and as far as leadership roles as well. So they have really developed a great leader out of me.
MSA isn't just for minorities, it's for everyone within the campus community.
The main role is to promote diversity, promote just a safe haven for any student of minority or any student who just wants to learn different types of culture. That's the main role and focus of MSA. We have a Kwanzaa celebration, we have the Latino explosion, we have the Asian extravaganza, we have the women empowerment group and men empowerment group, we have dance groups, we have a modeling group, so it's endless. Like, that's part of what the mural is showing behind me, is just the endless opportunities.
If you're interested in attending an event hosted by MSA, or if you'd like to learn more about their organization, you can visit their web space at ship.edu/MSA. On February 24th, the Emmy Award-winning producer June Cross is visiting Shippensburg. Cross will share experiences from her journalism career and tell about her autobiographical documentary, Secret Daughter. The documentary looks at how race and color affected her family. Get ready for her lecture by seeing Secret Daughter. It's showing at the Cub February 17th through the 23rd, and it's free for everyone. So mark your calendar for February 24th and for a movie date before.
Using her position as a network journalist, Soledad O'Brien champions for diversity in America. But it isn't always a walk in the park for her.
I was the sellout kid. I was the white boy with the black skin.
Black in America, reported by Soledad O'Brien, was one of the most watched programs ever on CNN. The documentary scored positive reviews, but with a high-profile position, Soledad also faced hard criticism.
No one has ever said to Christiane Amanpour, well, you know what, how Chinese is she? Because I understand she's going to be, interviewing the Prime Minister, so I think really she should. It never happens.
So what does being black mean?
Because
is that a conundrum?
I think there was a sense that to tell that story well, you had to have a certain knowledge and understanding of the community.
Soledad quoted the website in her new book, The Next Big Story, My Journey Through the Land of Possibilities. The site Fresh Expressed, the pulse of young black America, said, the same station would nary a black woman in any on-air position of substance. There's no black female Rachel Maddow on CNN. There's no chocolate Campbell Brown, not even a ghetto Greta Von facelift. And no, Soledad does not count.
But still, it's not a slap in the face at all?
It's an opinion. To me, what really intrigues me is to say, what does that mean? If someone were to say that to my face, I'd say, well, what does that mean, blacker? I mean, literally darker skin, somebody who's more down with the people. I mean, what are you trying to say? That I'm really intrigued by. So I actually always felt it was an interesting jumping off point for a conversation. What does it mean to be black in America? Which, by the way, was the whole point of our documentary. So it only was interesting. I mean, I never really took it. I mean, I didn't go home and cry at night.
But the quote from the website seemed to echo an experience Soledad had with the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
We were talking about the lack of diversity among anchors in general, but particularly at CNN. And I didn't know what he was talking about. I said, what do you think? He said, CNN has no black anchor. And I was like, I've interviewed you a million times, not at CNN, but before I came to this job, I was working on a morning show at the time. I said, I've interviewed you when we were at the Today Show. And he leaned over and had my hand and shit like this and said, you don't count.
Soledad said that later on, Jackson thought she was Latino, not black.
What really annoyed me about all of that was really not even Jesse Jackson, it was more my response. It really threw me. And I was pissed off that I was thrown. I was very disheartened that I was sort of knocked off my game. And partly for all the things you said. Here's a person who is the face and voice of Black America, and he was sort of saying, you're black! But I really realized that it was not really about him. It was about me not getting tossed off my game or letting other people weigh in on what they thought I was. I mean, really, it's not anybody's business.
And to learn more about Soledad O'Brien, check out her autobiography, The Next Big Story, My Journey Through the Land of Possibilities. Really good read. Fascinating story, Laura. Hey, coming up after the break, our New York City trip wasn't all business.
And it's not too late to get your ticket to see O'Brien's lecture here at the Lohr Center tonight. Stay with us.
Now, while we've spent the bulk of the show on a heavy topic, our efforts at covering diversity haven't been all serious. As a matter of fact, as a college student, getting to go to CNN in New York was pretty awesome and a lot of fun. Bubba Smith and Barbara Shindo made the trip with me, and while I was concentrating on getting all the details from Soledad, those two were making a video diary.
5 hours. A train ride.
It's 8:30. We were supposed to be on the road at 8:30. Barbara Shindo is nowhere to be found.
A somewhat delayed car ride. a taxi trip through downtown, and eventually an arrival in New York City. For 3 college journalists, this Valentine's Day was more than memorable.
It went by so fast, but it was a great experience.
Hundreds of miles from ship, but only a few feet away from living a dream, we had high hopes for the interview.
What if the control room messed up and they did a live shot of me and Soledad and we were on CNN?
One particular director felt right at home in the CNN studio.
So I just walked up and told Soledad, Soledad, can I have you move forward? You know what? She's been on air before. She's used to it. Didn't even think twice. She's like, yeah, go ahead, move the chair up. So I just moved the chair up, told Soledad what to do. When it was all said and done, emotions were high, but egos were higher.
High-priced talent.
Before we knew it, we were homeward bound.
I think it hit us when we were leaving CNN. We were there for, what, 2 hours, I'd say? And it flew by.
So I had,
And the story shared.
I had this gorilla mask, which was really scary.
And the memories made along the way.
So, coming in. Billy, I'm here to ride the train to CNN.
Only enriched the experience.
How have these in-American projects changed you?
Anxiously reporting for SUTV News, Bubba Smith
And Barbara Shindo.
I'm so proud.
Never trust those two if they have a camera around. Just saying. Hey, you can check out more from the video diary on Facebook. Just search SUTV News.
And don't forget, tickets are still available for Soledad's lecture on TV Behind the Scenes and In Our Lives. The lecture starts at 8 p.m. tonight at the Lohr Center. Tickets are free with a student ID and $15 without. To order tickets, call 717-4777-469 or online at www.lohrcenter.com.
Oh, go ahead.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us for the special edition of SUTV News. I'm Laura Shale.
I'm Kyle Rogers. We hope to see you tonight at 8. Goodbye.